Hi guys, in this video I will show you how to implement the Singleton design pattern. The Singleton design pattern ensures that there's only a single instance of a class and that no parts of a program can create any additional objects. I will take the class Moon as an example. I want to be sure that there's only a single object of class Moon and that no other objects can be created. I start out by defining a private static field of type Moon that will store this instance. It's important that this is static because this belongs to the class. The second step, I want to restrict creation of objects. I do this by making the constructor private. By making this private, it can only be called within this class. As a third step, I will add a public static getter method that returns the instance. The return type is Moon and the method name will be getInstance. In some implementations you will see that this method is also called getSingleton. The method implementation first checks if an instance has already been created. If the instance is still null, I will create a new instance by calling the private constructor, and then at the end of the method, I will return the instance. Note, by making the constructor private and only having a public static getter method, the only way to get an object of this class is calling the public static getter method. And this method will only call the constructor once, the very first time an instance is null. Then calling it a second time, it will always skip the if block and just return the instance that has already been created. So if I have a main method and I want to create a new object of this class, when I call the constructor, you can see it gives me a compile error. This is not visible because the constructor is private. So the only way to get an object of this class is by calling the class name Moon and then getInstance. And I can call this anywhere in my program, but the only way to get an object is called getInstance. And this really ensures that there's only a single object in an entire application, no matter how large the application is. Note that this implementation is not thread safe. If you have multiple threads in your application, you have to make sure to synchronize the access and the check to the instance to be sure that this really just returns a single instance. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching.